Department of Labor sues a Wichita strip club and its parent company because the company allegedly owes back wages to dozens of female entertainers.
Keith Grant in the newsroom now to break down those details. Keith?
Rachel and Jacob, the lawsuit was filed last week against the strip club Pleasures and its operating company Mother's Finest. Now the lawsuit follows an investigation that found a number of wage violations at the club. That includes alleged unpaid wages, unauthorized deductions for tips, and more. The Department of Labor says that includes misclassifying dancers as independent contractors, which led to missing overtime and other benefits. The dancers also allegedly had to sign contracts that said they'd give back lost wages recovered through lawsuits or investigations. The Department of Labor is seeking back wages and liquidated damages for the 80 workers.